I'm going to go through a quick lesson. Tonight, your homework is a worksheet, but on the worksheet, I only want you to identify the asymptotes. Tomorrow, I will teach you how to graph these. And when I teach you how to graph them, then you can finish the worksheet. But on tonight's worksheet, which I'll have you pick up when you turn in your quiz, just do the asymptotes. Okay. Yesterday, we talked about our rules for horizontal asymptotes. We talked about if the degree of the numerator was the same as the denominator. We talked about if the degree of the numerator was less than the denominator. But we have a third option, don't we? What if the numerator is greater? Well, we get a slant asymptote when the degree of the numerator is bigger than the degree of the denominator by 1. In general, we say that we have oblique asymptotes when the degree of the numerator is bigger, but specifically when it's bigger by 1, we have a slant asymptote. And that's what we're going to look at today. Okay. In order to find these slant asymptotes, so first of all, this is what it's going to look like. Oh, crazy. Instead of a horizontal asymptote, it's going to be a slant. It's going to be a line. So we're going to get this kind of funky shape going on. Okay. To find it, we are going to divide. And the quotient, without the remainder, just the quotient, is our slant asymptote. That's all we have to do. Okay. Now I said long division or synthetic division because we can't always use synthetic division. Okay. So we'll have to be careful. If we can use synthetic division though, that would be probably the best choice because it's more efficient to get our quotient. Okay. The remainder doesn't matter. It's okay to have a remainder. We only care about the quotient. Okay. So I'm going to have you write down the problem. We're going to graph it tomorrow, so leave space to where we could graph it tomorrow, okay? So here is our first problem. F of x equals x squared minus x all over x plus 1. Okay, do you notice how the degree of the numerator is larger? Okay, by exactly 1. Now, technically we can factor our numerator, but does it help us simplify? No, it doesn't really help us at all. Okay, so we can factor, but it's not going to help us simplify. Our vertical asymptote is at x equals -1 because that's where the denominator is 0. Now, since we have the case where our numerator has a larger degree, we are literally just going to perform this division. Is our divisor linear? Okay, so we're going to take 1x squared minus 1 plus 0, and we're going to divide it by x plus 1. And if we're dividing by x plus 1, that means we're going to throw -1 out for our synthetic division. Right? Okay? So we're going to bring down the 1. 1 times -1 is -1. We add to get -2. Technically, That remainder doesn't matter. I know there's a remainder, but we don't care about it. Our slant asymptote is y equals, our quotient is 1x minus 2. And that's all I want you to do today on your homework. Identify the vertical and horizontal or slant asymptotes. Should we do one more? Yes.
Should we leave room for other work? Like, are we gonna do more with that?
Well, we're gonna plug in like an XY table. That would be the only other work that we'll need. Okay, but it's a worksheet, so yeah. Okay, so leave room for the graph, and then write this one, and we're gonna identify the asymptotes, and tomorrow we'll graph this one. Okay, in our numerator, what can we do? We can factor out an x. And in our denominator, we can factor out an x. Okay, so good reminder for your quiz. We have a hole at wherever this factor is. Since it's x, we have a hole at x equals 0. Okay? With our new rational, our denominator is 0 at x equals negative 2. Do you notice I'm writing x equals negative 2? Please write it as a line. Okay? And then, because our degree of the numerator is larger than the denominator, we have a slant asymptote, and we need to perform that division. So x squared plus 4x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. This is a big reason why this is in this chapter, because of the division piece of our polynomials. Yes?
So the whole is at 0 because it comes without the x.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It's just, since it wasn't a number, it counts as
right. So then, we'll do our synthetic division. Okay. So here's our division. I don't care about the remainder. What we care about is our quotient. So our slant asymptote is at y equals x plus 2. Okay. So your homework is going to be very, it's not going to take very long. I think there's 6 graphs on our homework. And all I want you to do is identify the asymptotes and stop. What's your homework? Identify the, and then stop. Okay. Because tomorrow we'll graph them. Okay? It is possible that you have graphs on your homework that don't have slant asymptotes.